Hey Ralph, it's Richard here at Staying Afloat Financial. Listen, I got to pick your brain. I'm looking at these satisfaction surveys. I got to do something about this phone system. It's just driving me crazy. Every day I get a call. These line cards are going down. The system's out of date. I got to go surfing the net to try and find new ones. Something has to give here. I got that quote from the company, and they told me that I can just upgrade my PBX and keep these digital phones. But you know what? I can't go and keep these phones on the desk. They're going to go and lynch me. It's like I'm not upgrading the system at all. There has to be a better way. What's that? Phybridge. Hey, tell me a little bit about that. Really? You're saying power and Ethernet on a single pair of wires with distances up to 2,000 feet? Oh, great. Phybridge, how do you spell that? Phybridge.com. All right, hang on a second. Let me bring that up. And you're telling me you've used this? Really? How many phones? 1,200. How long? One weekend. No way. Hang on a second. I gotta take a look at this. Okay. And it works with all the major manufacturers, you're telling me? Oh boy. I gotta call my provider and ask them about this Phybridge. Thanks, Ralph. I owe you one. See ya. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us again today. We're reconvening the Unified Communications meeting we had from a couple months ago. If you recall, I just want to do a little bit of a summary here. Some of the things that we heard from our vendors after the meetings were things that we needed to look at: network assessments, new cabling, switches, UPS and cooling in each of the IDFs because of the distance limitation of the Ethernet switches, QoS configuration on our network, both on our new switches and the existing switches, professional services, management and monitoring tools, and of course resource allocations to get all this rolled up. They're telling us that it's probably going to take about a year to get what we want. If you recall, we're really keen on the business drivers of unified communications, and we believe that IP telephony is the way to go. I know there was one quote from one of the vendors that talked about upgrading our existing PBX, IP enable it, but leave our existing digital phones. There's really no value in that. So I think we're going to need to think about how to move ahead. And unfortunately, after all of this, the one thing that I see is this: a lot of risk up front for a lot of unknowns for us. So one thing we also want to recall, just to reiterate, some of you weren't here with us last time, these are the things that we said that we wanted to accomplish from our unified communications and our computer and telephony system upgrade. So I'm pleased to inform you all that I think we've come up with a solution. We've worked with our vendor who's here in the room with us today, and we've done a little bit of research on a company called Phybridge that has a really great solution for us. If you remember, this is what we've got today. We've got our phone, we've got our computer at the desktop, we've got a path for voice, a path for data. There are separate paths. For our financial services industry, it's key that we maintain that type of topology. So either we go through what we saw here, or we come up with something else. Now what Phybridge has done is they've got a box that we can install on our existing telephone wiring infrastructure. And what it does is it provides IP technology and PoE, so power and Ethernet, to the endpoint using an existing single pair of telephone wires up to 2,000 feet in distance. And the great thing is we can start with this completely separate, and if we want to do convergence, all we need to do is connect the two together, either through our firewall or directly into our data switches. It's a data switch like any other. So what we end up getting is we can application focus, lower cost to us, less disruption, quality of service guaranteed, voice continuity. We talked about security, easy to manage and maintain, and future requirements. Here's the big thing that I didn't know about until I talked to the provider and our Phybridge partner is when we need more bandwidth for our computers going forward, like we all know that we will, if we were choosing to daisy chain our computer and phone together like some of the other proposals said, we would need to buy new phones and new PoE switches each time. And I did a little bit of research. The price delta on a 48-port PoE switch is about $5,000. The price delta on a gigabit phone versus a 10100 phone today is about $100 per phone. Now that's today. Who knows, we may need 2 or 3 gigs in 5 or 10 years, and that price delta will be even more. But just adding those two together is well over $200 per phone today. And I've been told by the Phybridge folks and our provider that we'll be able to install this solution for less than that cost today, and in the next few years when we need more bandwidth for this computer, well, all we need to do is upgrade our switches. We'll never affect the voice, and that $200 is not a cost to us. Now, I'll ask for some consensus. Do you want to move forward? We can do a proof of concept with Phybridge using our existing infrastructure. We don't have to go through any of this. We can have this done in the next couple of days. A show of hands? All right. Any no's? I didn't think so. All right, let's move forward.
Here we are in the central closet. We've racked and configured the Phybridge switches in this one location, saving money and eliminating any IDF requirements. The Mitel IP-PBX is installed and tested along with all the supporting materials, and we are ready for phone deployment.
Well, the big day's here. Time to deploy our IP phones. Boy, that pilot project went great. Everyone's so happy about these IP phones and the unified communications. I sure am glad we picked this Mitel phone. They've got that Phybridge technology built right into the base. You can't even tell. My goodness. Look how easy it is to deploy these phones. We take our old phone here, we disconnect our RJ11 cable, we take it and plug it into our brand new IP phone, and that's it. We just deployed the phone. And we take our existing phone and put it exactly where it belongs, right there. Let's go. Ralph, it's me. You know what? I gotta thank you. Telling me about that Phybridge, that was the best thing I ever did. We got all our phones deployed in a weekend. All the users are so happy. You know what? They're talking about giving out an award now. I just saved the company the most money ever in the history of cost savings. So thanks again, buddy. I owe you one. Take care.